what to expect from your day. Once you finish the huddle, all the answers should be answered. Who's gonna do what?
No,
and it needs to be clear.
You say all the answers should be answered.
Oh, really? All the questions should be answered.
Doctors think that they're Superman or Superwoman sometimes,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, just put this mission in. Yeah, we can do it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to Dental Vibes. So my name is Gabby.
And I'm Carla.
And today we're going to talk about how we can make our life a little bit smoother and make sure that our day is organized, especially now with the new year starting. I think is a perfect time for you guys to maybe call a team meeting if you're having some disorganization on your life. To maybe implement some things and try to make your life a little bit easier.
Leave everything bad in 2019. Let's start the new decade with a fresh start and super organized.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of things that we would adjust to make our day super easy and perfect.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on some things that we think is the most important.
Right. So the first thing is having the right columns on the schedule. First, we have our high production column, and of course we want to try to fill those out first. The second column we have is going to be non-production, or at least not high production. You usually have your deliveries, adjustments.
You can put like a filling there, something
like
that's going to be quick.
Fillings, but nothing major.
Yeah. So the reason for that is because you want to make sure that the doctor can be at both places at the same time, sort of.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put two crowns side by side.
No.
You want to kind of stack it up. So that means he's going to start crown, going to get to a stopping point, then he can jump to the other room, do something really quick, and then come right back. So you just want to make sure that you're organizing your schedule so he or she can be able to do everything and stay on time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing that we think it helps is when you put blocks to remind everybody where things should go.
And that means everybody.
Everybody.
Front desk, newbies, the doctor.
Exactly.
And every assistant working.
Yeah, so pretty much the blocks that would be for a crown. You know that your doctor takes maybe an hour, 2 hours for a crown, and you're gonna pick that block for a certain color. So that's gonna be green for crowns, for example. And then for something else, for fillings, or if it's 2 or 3 fillings, you know that your doctor takes a certain amount of time. So that's gonna be a block for that, a block for an emergency, a block for extraction. So everything kind of goes into the right spot.
Yeah. I think that's super important. Even sometimes I like the blocks where you're just putting a note.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is what may or may not happen that day. It's kind of reminding yourself and letting everybody else know, okay, this may happen.
Or even a block, don't schedule anybody here because we have a lot going on, or we have a difficult patient.
Yeah.
Just that way, everybody that's looking at the schedule is going to know what's going on, and you're not going to have some crazy procedures just thrown at you in the middle of the day, and you're like, whoa, where did this come from? We don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
Right. So the third big thing is doing chart preps. Now,
super important.
We are surprised to know that a lot of assistants and a lot of offices still aren't doing that.
They don't even know what it is.
Yeah, and that's scary because you need to be prepared, have an idea of what's gonna happening on your next day. You want to do it definitely the night before, preferably.
That's something you don't leave without doing.
Yeah. Preferably for the next 2 days. So it includes a lot of things. And what are some of the things that we have?
So,
which is a lot of information.
It is a lot of information. And if you guys want to see kind of a sample of a chart prep, we can probably manage to do that. So you guys can have an idea of how we organize it. So we print the schedule and we sit down and look at all these information and write down on our schedule so we can go over the next day. So things we're gonna look at is medical history. Do they need to update medical history? Is it a pre-med patient? Do we need to make sure that they took their pre-med?
Big thing.
Is the treatment plan signed? Do they need to sign and make sure the financials are taken care of before we bring them back? So all those things are very important to make sure that you know ahead of time.
Also, is what we're doing that day the correct treatment plan? Because somebody may be needing, you know, an extraction, but it was scheduled for a crown on a different tooth. Which one is it? Okay, what do the chart notes say from the previous appointment? So that's very important. Even sometimes we run into those little things.
Absolutely.
So now, also, check your lab cases. There's nothing worse than the patient's right there and you're going crazy in the lab looking for your case.
Case is not there and your patient is out in the waiting room.
Checked in, you know, you didn't check the night before, so don't leave it for the last minute. Now, another one is, you know, your patients, your special ones, and you know what I mean. What are the special requests?
You know when you see that patient's name on your schedule and you're like, okay.
And like borderline, we need to serve mimosas that morning.
Exactly. So you just want to be prepared mentally and physically for that patient, so you know, hey, I'm gonna see that person tomorrow.
Or it might be a patient with disability, so it's like, how do we get them in a chair? Do we need assistance from other team members? You know, things like that. Another thing, every time your patient leaves, they have to leave with a next visit appointment. Okay, you're done with treatment, fine, but they need their recall appointment. Whether it's 3, 4, 6 months, they need to have that.
Or else they're gone. You might never see them again.
So don't forget about next visits.
Another thing, why do you do chart preps, right? So where are you gonna discuss the chart preps? So we call a huddle meeting every single morning. Depending on your office, it could be 10 minutes, or if it's a bigger office, maybe, you know, 30 minutes. But that day, or every morning, we go and sit down and talk about every single patient that's on that schedule and what they need. Everything that we wrote down for the chart prep is discussed. And if there's any questions, if we need to change something, then everything is discussed on that appointment.
And by the way, even hygienists can do chart prep, and
if they had pending treatment, if patient needs x-rays and stuff like that, for sure. And a lot of offices, again, don't do that.
Now, once you finish the huddle, all the questions must be answered, and everybody needs to be aware of what's going to be happening that day. That means that everybody on the team needs to be on the same page. That means all the DAs, the hygienists, front desks, and the doctor. Because sometimes you doctors throw schedules, you know, into chaos. Because we're not following the plan. Now,
doctors think that they're Superman or Superwoman sometimes, and they're like, oh yeah, just put this patient in. Yeah, we can do it in like 10 minutes. And everybody knows that's gonna be a shit show. Basically.
So, Gabby, how do we deal with the doctors that aren't really down with the plan, or they like to, you know, play by ear?
So I think that this is a personal decision, right? Because everybody's different. So I think that if you are somebody that's a hustler, that you're just looking for those overtime, that you don't care what time you leave, you don't care how many hours you work that day, this might work out for you. You're just like, oh, whatever, I'll work whatever hours it's thrown at me. But if you are somebody like us and you want to have your lunch and you want to get out on time because you have other responsibilities, and you want to make sure that you're sane through the day and you're not overwhelmed, then you might have to sit down and have a very strict meeting with your doctor and just point it out. Listen, we're a team. You cannot work without an assistant. An assistant can't work without a doctor. We need to work together, but I cannot work this way. I need to make sure that we are organized, that I'm having my lunch, that I'm leaving in a decent time, and you know, just put that on the table and see what they say.
And it's not just about our schedule. We have to keep in mind that patients have appointments, and not everybody's okay with waiting an hour, you know, for their appointment. So it's just on everybody's interest that we're running on time and keeping our schedules running in a good way.
For sure. Now, if your doctor says, hey, I agree, you're right, let's stick to the blocks and it's gonna be fine. This is a dream come true. But doesn't always work like that. You know, your doctor might say, hey, I understand your concerns, but I'm here to make $1 billion a day. And you know, I don't really care what you like and what you don't like about the schedule. This is what's gonna happen. So that is up to you to decide if that's the right office for you, because that maybe not be the right office for you, and there'll be another office that will be a better fit for you. So just always keep in mind, first obviously try to solve the problem, and if the problem can be solved, then you might have to, you know, see.
And then not every day is gonna be and not every day is gonna be perfect. You're gonna have that one day that you're running behind and you know everything is just snowballing into a bad day. But if it's not a continuous cycle, then it's okay. It just happens to be, you know, a bad day. And that's it. You move on.
Absolutely. So I think we're going to stop here. But like we said before, there's so many other things that you can adjust to make your day run smooth. But these are the most important things that we think, you know, you have to make sure that are on point. But please let us know in the comments if you have any other tips. We are always looking for new things to implement in our office. So you make sure you let us know.
Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more dental tips.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Keep smiling.